So look at division of like bases, which most people would call just reducing fraction. Um, so I say like bases because I'm talking about the variables here. So if you look at this, we've got 6x to the fourth all over 2x to the third. So what's really going on here is I can factor this out. I've got 4x's and 6 is the same as 2 times 3. Now, anything that's divided by itself is a 1. So if something's on top and the bottom, numerator denominator, they equal 1. So I can cross those out, and they really equal 1. It's not really going anywhere. And so what I'm left with is 3x over 1. And I would write that simply as 3x. Looking at this next one, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to factor the top and factor the bottom right. When I mean factor, write it as a bunch of multiplication. So the top is the same as 5 times 3x's. The bottom I can write as 2 times 5 times x times x. So you can see the two 5's and two x's will reduce. So as many they have in common, I can reduce those as long as they're being multiplied. And I end up with, I have an x on the top and a 2 on the bottom. So this one is going to stay a fraction. All right, well, that can be a little bit slow, especially if these numbers get bigger. So let's look how we can kind of speed this up here. So there's different ways to do it. You can subtract the powers. We're going to kind of do that in a roundabout way, but I think this is the best way to do it. First, I'm going to break it up by things that are alike. So I'll do 30 divided by 10. So I like to look at it like this. I got x to the 6 divided by x to the 4. So if I've got 6 on the top and 4 on the bottom, they each have 4. So I can reduce 4 out of the x's, and I can reduce 5 out of the y's. And if I do that, it leaves me with two 2's on the top, two x's on the top, sorry, and 5 y's on the bottom. So I was able to get rid of 5, but there was 10 in the bottom, so there's still 5 left. Then I'll put that back together. So looking at this one, I'm going to split it up by the things that are alike. So the numbers, the x's and the y's. Okay. So for the numbers, 15 over 25, I can take a 5 out of both of those. For the x's, I can take out 10 x's. So if I take out 10 x's out of the top, I'll be left with the 1. And the bottom, I'm going to have 6 x's left. And then for the y's, I can only take out 1 y. So this is what I end up with. And I'll put those back together as a single fraction. So same thing, break it up by things that are alike. So I'll do 100 divided by 20. I can take 1 x out and 5 y's. Okay, but there was more y's in the bottom and more x's on the top, so that's where it stays. All right, and then I'll put those back together. Same thing here, splitting it up. So I can do, now I got a negative 15 there, so be careful with that. So I can take, it looks like a 5 out of those both. For the x's, I can get rid of 9 x's and 4 y's. So there's more x's on the top, there's more y's on the top. So when I'm done, I'll be left with them in those places. Go ahead and put this back together. Right. And you don't really need to put that -1. You could just have a negative sign there. But there you go.